Hey there, foodies! Today we're going on a taste adventure to Malaysia to explore a dish that's packed with flavor laksa. Imagine a rich, fragrant soup, thick with coconut milk and filled with amazing spices. Picture soft noodles, juicy prawns, and a sprinkle of fresh herbs. That's laksa, a true party of Southeast Asian tastes. Laksa is more than just a dish, it's an experience. It's about the way the spices tickle your tongue, the yummy smell that fills your kitchen, and the happy feeling with every bite. Ready for this cooking journey? Let's go. I first tried laksa on a trip to Malaysia, and I loved it right away. The mix of spicy, creamy, and tangy flavors was like nothing I'd ever tasted. I knew I had to learn to make it, and I'm excited to share my version of this famous dish with you. So get ready, put on your aprons, and let's make some kitchen magic. Before we start cooking, let's get our ingredients. Don't worry about the list. You can find most of these things at your local supermarket or Asian grocery store. Plus, I'll share some easy swaps along the way. For the spice paste, dried chilies. These add a spicy kick to the laksa. Shallots. These give a sweet and sharp taste to the paste. Garlic. No Asian dish is complete without lots of garlic. A galangal. This root adds a citrusy, almost medicine-like flavor. Lemongrass. Look for the fresh stalks for the best flavor. Turmeric. This bright yellow root gives the laksa its sunny color. Belacan. This shrimp paste is the secret ingredient for real laksa flavor. For the broth, coconut milk. This makes the broth creamy and rich. Chicken or vegetable broth. This is the base of our flavorful soup. Fish sauce. A little fish sauce adds a salty, deep flavor. Sugar. A bit of sugar balances the spiciness. For the noodles and protein, and thick rice noodles. These noodles are nice and chewy, perfect for laksa. Prawns. These add a sweet and juicy protein. Chicken. You can also use shredded chicken and tofu. For a vegetarian choice, tofu soaks up the flavors really well. Remember, cooking is about having fun and trying new things. Don't be afraid to change the amounts to fit your taste. Now, let's get our hands messy and make the heart of our laksa the spice paste. This is where the magic happens. First, take out the stems and seeds from the dried chilies. Then roughly chop the shallots, garlic, galangal, and lemongrass. Now put all the spice paste ingredients in a food processor or blender and mix until you get a smooth, fragrant paste. This paste is the key to our laksa's flavor, so take a sniff of its amazing smell. The mix of spices is both interesting and delicious, showing you the yummy food to come. Step 4. Building a tasty base. Preparing the laksa broth. With our spice paste ready, let's make a tasty base for our laksa the broth. This step is all about adding flavors and making a symphony of tastes. Heat a big pot on medium heat and add a spoonful of oil. Add the spice paste and cook for a few minutes, stirring all the time until it smells good. Now pour in the coconut milk and chicken or vegetable broth. Let it simmer, then turn down the heat and let it cook for about 15 to 20 minutes, letting the flavors mix together. As the broth simmers, add fish sauce and sugar to taste. Remember, taste as you cook and add more seasoning if you need to. You want the broth to be balanced, salty, a little sweet, and a little spicy. Step 5, noodle heaven, cooking the perfect noodles. While the broth is simmering, let's get our noodles ready. Thick rice noodles are great for laksa because they're chewy and don't get mushy in the rich broth. Cook the noodles like the package says. Usually this means soaking them in hot water for a few minutes until they're soft but still a little firm. Once cooked, drain the noodles and set them aside. Remember, overcooked noodles can get mushy, so be careful. You want them to have a nice chew. Step 6. Protein power. Preparing your choice of extras. Laksa is great with different kinds of protein. Prawns are a classic choice. Their sweet and juicy flavor is perfect with the spicy broth. If you're using prawns, peel and clean them. You can keep the tails on if you want. Then just add them to the simmering broth for the last few minutes of cooking until they turn pink. Chicken is another good choice. You can use cooked shredded chicken or cooked chicken breasts in the broth. For a vegetarian choice, try tofu puffs. These soak up the flavor of the broth really well. Step 7. The art of putting it together, bringing it all together. Now comes the fun part, putting our laksa together. This is where we get to play with colors, textures, and flavors, making a dish that looks as good as it tastes. Start by putting the cooked noodles into your bowls, then pour the hot laksa broth over the noodles, making sure each bowl gets lots of those flavorful spices and creamy coconut milk. Now add your protein prawns, chicken or tofu. Arrange them nicely on top of the noodles, letting them peek through the rich broth.